Welcome to Owning Pleasure as a Black Woman, the podcast for accomplished Black women ready to stop surviving and start thriving. I'm your host, Natasha Riley, licensed therapist and founder of Javer Integrative Wellness Services. This is where we move beyond talking about change to actually creating it. Every episode gives you practical tools to build a daily pleasure practice because you've already proven you can achieve anything. Now it's time to learn how to enjoy it. Ready to bridge the gap between knowing and doing? Let's dive in. Welcome to another episode of Owning Pleasure as a Black Woman. If you are a returning listener, I just want to say thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so very much. I don't even think you know the magnitude of which I appreciate you. And if you're new here, I appreciate you too because you made the decision to come over here and learn about this good pleasure, self-care, and rest to enhance your life. Now, this episode today is much needed in the dumpster fire that is the world. Okay, it is much needed. It's going to help you get through these last couple months of the year, going into the holidays, dealing with family, intrusive questions, boundaries, work. Like, it's going to help you all. So we're talking about 5 stress management strategies. Now, I do 5 because you don't need a lot. You don't need a lot to begin to build your stress management coping skill toolbox, pleasure toolbox, whatever it is that you want to call it. You don't need a lot. What you need to do is take a few and figure out what works and throw away the rest and do it all over again. Okay. This is a YouTube video that I actually did because we have a YouTube page, youtube.com/@jrewellness. So make sure you check that out. I'm also going to link the YouTube video in here when it goes up. So it may not be ready for you at this very moment. But in case you want to see my beautiful face while I talk about your stress management strategies, you can head over to the link. And before we get into the information, I wanted to remind you that I have created a free 7-day self-care reset specifically for high achieving Black women. So that is you, listener. That is you. Each day, you're going to get a guided practice to help you reduce stress, set boundaries, and reconnect with yourself. That's going to go very good with this episode. So you listen to this episode, you go to the link in the show notes, www.javerywellness.com/reset, and you begin working on your self-care to reduce your stress. Okay? Let's dive into these 5 strategies that are going to help you move from surviving to thriving. Bye. All right, let me guess. You've been told, just relax, take a bubble bath, practice self-care to manage your stress. And you're thinking, that's cute, but my life, look at my life. Have you met me? I'm Natasha Riley. I am a therapist and the founder of Javer Integrative Wellness Services. And today I'm sharing 5 stress management strategies that actually work for high achieving Black women. For you. Here's the problem with today's stress management advice. It's not necessarily geared for us. It doesn't take into consideration the fact that no matter what we do, every day when we walk out of our doors, there are things that we are going to have to deal with. We are going to have to deal with the microaggressions of being on. We are going to have to deal with our family expectations. We're going to have to deal with that strong Black woman expectation and, oh, I can't be weak. I can't slow down. Financial stress, the stress of being the first, the one, the only, and navigating spaces where every single day you have to prove yourself. And even in proving yourself, it doesn't matter. So today we're going to actually talk about stress management strategies that work with your reality, not some fantasy world, not some things that are very commercialized. While bubble baths and, all of that is great, I want to give you the foundational techniques that you can use on a day-to-day basis that matches your lifestyle. Strategy number 1, let's name the invisible labor. Okay, so we carry invisible labor that most people don't even see. Most people don't acknowledge except for us. Now, what is invisible labor? Emotional labor at work. So going to work and making people comfortable, right? Getting smaller so that you can keep your job. Code switching, laughing at things that aren't funny. Those little things, that's invisible labor. That is taxing emotionally, physically, spiritually. How about being the cultural translator in certain spaces where everyone's looking to you? Oh, what does that mean? Oh, I learned this the other day. I saw this on TikTok. Can you explain it to me? Now we're the trainer in Black culture. We're training everybody in Black culture. The family caretaking responsibilities. A lot of the clients that come to us, they're in that messy middle. So they have children that they're taking care of, and they have their parents that they're taking care of, or their grandparents that they're taking care of. So not only are we dealing with the invisible labor of going out into the world, but we're also dealing with the labor of dealing with family. Leadership expectations, community leadership expectations. We are the lead of the community. We are supposed to run organizations and run nonprofits and run businesses and show up and speak out. And then we also have to manage others' perceptions and biases for the things that we do, for how we show up. This labor is real work. We're not just going out here doing physical work. We're not just out here doing mental work. We are doing this invisible labor, but it's not counted. It's not compensated, and it's not acknowledged. And when you don't name these things, when you don't say them out loud, you can't manage it. So we're going to manage it. We're going to call it what it is today. So I want you to start tracking your invisible labor for 1 week and just create just a little list. You know, you like to create lists. So every time you code switch, every time you're managing someone else's comfort, every time you take on someone's emotional labor at work, every family obligation that is assumed that you're going to do it, not asked, I want you to start making a list of all these things so that you can see where your energy is going. And just by naming it, it validates the exhaustion that you feel. And once you see the pattern, you can start making intentional choices about what you want to keep doing and what you need to release. So then we start going into boundaries. Okay? So this is going to take me to strategy number 2. Practice radical micro rest. You've been taught, we've been taught that rest has to be earned, scheduled, or productive. I hear time and time again from my students at work, from my clients in the practice, I feel lazy if I'm not doing anything. There's so much that I could be doing. And I always say there will always be something that you could do. There's always something on the to-do list. There's always something that somebody wants. Okay? You wait to take your vacation. You don't take your PTO. You don't rest on the weekend until you are so burnt out that you're 95% running on empty that you just physically can't. Or you follow the myth, I'll rest when I finish everything. Once I'm done with this and once I'm done with that, or once I have crossed off the 11 things on my to-do list. Spoiler alert, you will never finish everything. Again, there's always something to do. Your body doesn't care about your to-do list. Your body doesn't care about the fact that mentally your brain has told you that you need to be on and productive 24/7. It needs you to recover now. Statistically, health-wise, your body needs you to rest now. And so we're going to lean into radical micro rest, which means taking tiny moments of intentional rest throughout your day without feeling guilty. And this is something that I work 9 to 5 with and in my practice. So let's talk a little bit about what micro rest looks like. 60 seconds of deep breathing between meetings. Now, if you tell me that you cannot make time for 60 seconds of breathing, I need you to fill out the intake form on our website at jrewellness.com/get-started now. You mean to tell me you don't have 60 seconds? I need you to go there now if you can't do 60 seconds. You can do 60 seconds right now. Look. And that probably wasn't even 60 seconds. Okay? So I need you to do that regularly. If it needs to be a reminder on your phone, go ahead and do it. 3 minutes sitting in your car before you go inside. Now, that's whether you going in the house, whether that's you going into work, wherever it is, give yourself 3 minutes. Just give yourself 3 minutes. 5 minutes of silence with your morning coffee or tea or lemon water with no phone. Just 5 minutes. A 90-second stretch between tasks. Your body needs movement. It gets stuck. And closing your eyes for 30 seconds to just reset. These aren't just breaks. They aren't just things that we're doing just to do. Okay, we are being intentional and we are beginning to regulate our nervous system. These are tools to regulate your nervous system. And your body not only needs, but deserves these micro moments to shift out of fight or flight, because we are always in fight or flight, unfortunately. Listen, I need to be real with you for a second. You're here listening to this episode. Maybe you're nodding along, you feeling seen. And girl, that's beautiful. But if you're like most of my listeners, you're going to finish this episode. You're going to feel all inspired for about 10 minutes and then go right back to your regular life where you're still putting everyone first. I get it. I've been there. But here's what I've learned: the gap between knowing what you need to do and actually doing it is where transformation lives. Now, if you're tired of just consuming content about self care and you're ready to start practicing it, not tomorrow, not next week, but starting today, I created something specifically for you. It's called the 7-Day Self Care Reset, and it's exactly what it sounds like. 7 days of simple, actionable steps that help you move from thinking about prioritizing yourself to actually doing it. No overwhelm, no complicated systems, just practical tools that work with your real life. You'll get permission to put yourself first, learn to recognize those inherited patterns that keep you stuck, and discover what your authentic desires actually are underneath all the expectations. This isn't about adding more to your plate. I'm not going to do that to you. It's about finally honoring what's already on it, starting with you. Ready to stop listening and start living? Visit javerywellness.com/reset. That's RESET. And let's do this work together. Because the woman who just listens and the woman who actually takes action, they live completely different lives. Now, back to the episode. And here's the radical part: you don't have to earn these moments. There doesn't have to be a reason why you do these little things. You don't need permission from anyone to do it. You don't need permission to breathe for 60 seconds. You can take 60 seconds to breathe, even if your inbox is full. At the end of that 60 seconds, no one will have died. So, what I want you to do, I want you to pause this video and I want you to set 3 alarms on your phone. Okay, they're labeled breathe, pause, or reset. And when they go off, take the micro rest. Do not negotiate. You don't go out here and negotiate what other people need you for certain things. So don't negotiate on this. Honor yourself, show up for yourself so that you can learn to trust yourself. Now, strategy 3 is going to feel uncomfortable, but it's essential and it's kind of one of my favorites. Create a no script library. Oh, I know that word no. Ooh, that word no. We don't like it, but we're going to learn to love it. As a high achieving Black woman, you've been socialized to say yes. Yes to the extra projects. Yes to the family needs. Yes to the community requests. Yes, 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 I can do that. Yes, absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. The pressure to be the strong Black woman, to always be on, to always show up, means saying no feels like a failure. And this isn't something that I'm like data driven. I work with students at HBCU. I work with Black women all the time. And when I tell them to say no, I feel guilty. I don't want to let anybody down. Every day. I hear this every day. What I need you to realize, and I just said this the other day when I was working with a student, every time you say yes to someone else, you are saying no to yourself. Let me repeat that. Every time you say yes to someone else, you say no to yourself. And when you say yes, when you mean no, you build resentment. And that resentment isn't just towards others, it's towards yourself. You add on to this negative relationship that you have with yourself because you keep saying yes to things that you don't want to do. So, how are we going to fix that, Natasha? I'm going to tell you. We're going to create a library of no scripts. So you're not scrambling in the moment. Oh my gosh, what am I going to say? And these are pre-written responses. You can put them in your phone. You can have them on a Google Drive. You can have them on a sticky note somewhere. But you are going to have them where you can pull them up whenever you need them. So some examples at work. I'd love to help, but I'm at capacity right now. Can we revisit this next quarter? For family, I care about you, and I also need to protect my energy. I can't take that on right now. Social, I'm not available at this time, but let's find another date that works. General, let me check my energy, let me check my capacity, and I'll get back to you. Then, if it doesn't work and you don't have the capacity, you actually need to say no. And then being firm, that doesn't work for me, period. An explanation is not needed. And one that can also work is, let me get back to you. If you struggle with saying no and you're quick to say yes, practice, let me get back to you. This at least gives you a little bit of time to think and to admit, I don't want to do that. Okay. Now, I know saying no can feel scary, especially when you're taught that to be good means being available, that your job is to show up for everybody. People feel loved when you show up for them and do things for them. But boundaries aren't rejecting people. It's protecting you. You need protection, and everybody ain't gonna protect you. Also, you teach people how to treat you. It is very possible for you to love someone and have limits. Two things can exist, okay? So this is what I want you to do. I want you to write 5 no scripts this week. Keep them in your phone notes or on a sticky note. Practice saying them out loud before you need them. So maybe there's someone that you love, that you trust, and you can practice it with them, and they're not going to give you a hard time. Like, they want this for you. They've probably even told you that you need to do this. And start with low stakes situations to build the muscle. So maybe you start with the kids. No, you can't have that popsicle. Right? No, you can't have a bite of my food. Start somewhere where it doesn't feel so big that you can't do it. But you can't do this alone, which is why strategy 4 matters. Strategy 4, build a sister circle safety net. So being a high achieving Black woman, it feels lonely. We isolate ourselves sometimes because we feel like we should be able to handle everything, and we don't want to be exposed that things might be crumbling or I cannot. You're the friend that everyone leans on. You're the strong friend. You're the therapist of the group. But like, when things are hard, who do you lean on? Where do you go? Where do you release? So the strong Black woman myth tells us that needing support is weakness. Why would you need support? You got shoulders, strong shoulders. You got a strong back. But the reality is, isolation multiplies stress. Community reduces it. So I want you to think about building your sister circle, a small group of people who get it. And I know making friends is hard, but the reality is you probably already have a circle right now. You probably already have a support system right now that you are just not using. And it doesn't have to be a lot of people, 2 to 5 people who understand your unique experience of being a Black woman. People that you can be real with, you can be your authentic self. You don't have to perform. You don't have to like go back and forth and like hide versions of yourself. Relationships that are based off of reciprocity, not just you being a giver and them being a taker, but it's a back and forth. Like, I pour into you, you pour into me. And it needs to be a safe space to vent, celebrate, process, and just rest. You know those friends where you could just sit around them and not do anything? Like, they don't need you to entertain them and you don't need them to entertain you. It's just nice to have you in my space. Those type of friends. Now, don't mistake this for networking. This is not networking. This is a soul level connection with a friend group, with a person that gets it. They let you be imperfect and love you anyway. They celebrate your wins and they don't feel that it like takes anything away from them. There's no jealousy. They hold space and they have the capacity for your struggles. They don't need you to be strong all the time. Like they understand you are a human being. You are a person with emotions and lives for you. You don't have to be strong all the time. And they understand what it means culturally without things needing to be explained, right? What's understood doesn't need to be explained, which is why I love Javery Wellness so much, because we understand, because we live it too. We go out from our doors and we experience the same things that you do. So how are we going to implement this? Because we're about implementation. We're going to start small. You're going to reach out to one or two people this week that you trust, that you want in your tight sister circle. And you're going to be vulnerable first. You're going to say, I'm working on building a deeper community. I would like to see what it would look like for us to check in regularly. And then you set a regular meeting. It could be monthly coffee, weekly text check-ins, whatever it is that you want to do. It needs to be on a consistent basis for you all. And if you don't have this yet, therapy can be the part of the safety net too. So again, here at Javery Wellness, we are taking new clients. And so if you feel like I don't have anyone to be a part of my sister circle, then head over to javerywellness.com/get-started, fill out your intake form, and we will start building that safety net for you. We will start helping you and supporting you and creating your sister circle. Finally, strategy number 5 is about reconnecting with something you may have been ignoring. Okay, reconnect with your body's signals. I really love this too, because I recognize as high achieving Black women, our brains, our minds are very much disconnected from our body. When you're constantly stressed, you need to learn to override your body. You ignore being hungry. You ignore exhaustion. You ignore pain. You ignore tension because there are so many things I need to do. I don't have time. I don't have time to look at that. I don't have time to go to the doctor. I don't have time to go to the bathroom. You push through headaches, stomach problems, fatigue, and then you think it's a badge of honor. But your body is trying to tell you something. You have hit a wall. You are maxed out. You cannot go anymore. And when you ignore those signals of your body long enough, it's going to force you to pay attention. And it's not going to be in a way that you like. It's either going to be through an illness, an injury, or some type of breakdown. I promise you, it's never about if something is going to happen when you don't take care of yourself and your stress. It's about when. So I encourage you, I invite you to start listening to your body before it screams at you. So simple body check-in, set 3 alarms throughout your day. Yes, you may have multiple alarms throughout the day. That's absolutely fine. We're building new habits. When they go off, pause and ask these questions. How does my body feel right now? Where am I holding tension? What does my body need? Water. I need to rest. I need to step away from the computer. Then give your body one thing it's asking for. Just one. This isn't about perfection. Again, there's no judgment. We are learning new habits. This isn't good or bad. We are leaning into a different lifestyle. So it's not about perfection. It's about reconnection. And so some things that you may notice, some common signals: chronic tension. So in the shoulders, in the neck, your jaw is clenching, you may grind your teeth, digestive issues during stress, can't sleep or you sleep too much, overthinking when you're asleep, unexplained headaches, so maybe you have migraines, feeling numb or disconnected. These aren't random. Your body's stress alarm is going off, okay? And I need you to start listening to it. So let's kind of lean into a somatic piece. So at Javery Wellness, we use some somatic techniques because stress lives in the body. It's not just in your mind. And while talking is great, you also need body-based practices to start releasing the stress that is stored. Okay. So a quick tool that we can use is take in a deep breath for 4 counts. So let's do this together. In for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 6. And you're going to repeat that 3 times whenever you notice tension. That relaxed me in just that one time. Okay. So it's in for 4, hold for 4, out for 6. And the longer that you exhale, the calmer your nervous system is. So you start with the body check-in alarms this week and just notice. You don't have to fix everything. Remember, you're just going to do one thing. And awareness is the first step to change. We are making changes. We're changing behaviors. We're changing thought processes. And it's going to take a little while to do that because you've been you maybe for quite a bit of time. Okay, so we have covered 5 strategies, but I know you're thinking, that sounds great, but how do I actually start? So here's your action plan. Day 1, start tracking your invisible labor. You can keep it, like I said, on your phone, in the notes app, in your journal, wherever you want to keep it, just do it, right? Just notice, don't judge yourself. Day 2, your micro rest practice. So set those 3 alarms, label them breathe, pause, reset, and then take 60 seconds when they go off. Just breathe. Day 3, write your no scripts. Write 5 no scripts in your phone notes. Practice saying them out loud, maybe by yourself in the mirror or with someone you trust. Day 4, identify your sister circle. Make a list of 2 or 3 people who could be in your sister circle and reach out to one person this week. Day 5, add a body check-in question to your daily alarms. Ask, how does my body feel? What does it need? Day 6, practice one strategy deeply. Choose the strategy that you like, that feels like you resonate most to it, and spend one day, that day 6, fully implementing it. Day 7, I want you to reflect and adjust. So what worked? What felt hard? What do you need support with? And then decide which 2 or 3 strategies you'll continue next week. And you just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. You don't have to do all 5 strategies perfectly. You pick 2 or 3 that are the most doable for where you're at in your life right now. Every season, a different strategy may work. And understand that sustainable change is better than perfect execution. Okay. We are not going for perfection here. Managing stress as a high achieving Black woman isn't about doing more. That's not going to get us anywhere. It's about doing things differently. It's about naming your invisible labor, taking micro rests without feeling guilty, protecting your energy with boundaries, building community, and listening to your body. And understand you deserve to be successful and peaceful, thriving and rested, ambitious and well. 2 things can exist. That's not a luxury. It's your right. So if you want more support, you can download our free 7-day self-care challenge at the link that's below. It's designed specifically for high achieving Black women and gives you daily practices to reduce stress and connect with yourself. And if you realize that you're stuck and you need deeper support to navigate stress, to navigate burnout, or the patterns you just keep, you're stuck. I'm stuck, I can't get out, then we would love to talk with you. So go ahead and head over to javerywellness.com/get-started. Fill out your intake form, and we will make sure to get you connected with the therapist that best fits for where you are in this version of your life. So subscribe for more culturally responsive wellness strategies, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. And that's a wrap on today's episode of Owning Pleasure as a Black Woman. If this conversation sparked something in you and you're ready to take action, don't let that inspiration fade by Monday morning. Visit www.javerywellness.com/reset and start your free 7-day self-care reset today. Because the woman who just listens and the woman who actually takes action, they live completely different lives. Talk to you next week. Bye.